We are live. Thorny,
Yes. Hello.
known you
Hi.
for quite some time. What's your name?
Devin. Thorny.
Devin. How'd we meet?
We, shit.
How did we
Reign of
meet?
Kings, wasn't it? Reign of Kings? Is that what it's called? Or some shit?
Yeah. Oh, you commented on one of my videos when we had that server and you you asked to
Oh,
join.
wait. It was whitelisted, wasn't it? It was whitelisted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was
yeah,
it?
yeah. Yes, it was.
Oh, it was mine. It was
Yes,
my. It was no. It was Indigo. Do you remember Indigo?
Indigo Viking, yeah.
Indigo Viking. Yeah, it was his server. Like we were working on together, and we whitelisted it. And I made like the trailer, and
Yeah,
you
I
commented
commented on it, and then
Yeah, and
I did
that was
like
before Siege. So I was
Yeah.
like, holy shit, this YouTuber commented on my video. And I was like, we got to get this guy in. And
then-
what videos were you making at the time?
it was unturned content. Yeah.
Were you
unturned content.
were you solely just unturned even then? Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I
That's
was,
like
yeah.
your whole channel.
Yeah.
That
Or
is that what you started with?
was at least. Like I stopped doing content about like a year or two ago, like on unturned overall. And then
Right.
like I've dabbled in other things, but
How'd you get started in unturned in general?
basically like so before I didn't even have a YouTube channel for it. Before there was this website called the unturnedforum.com, and like after Unturned was released, I basically became like a community manager. Like I kind of like
For unturned?
yeah, for Unturned, but it wasn't official. It was an unofficial forum that gained like over like 50,000 members or something like that. And I kind of like persuaded my way in. Like I bullshitted my way into the position of community manager. And like from there, I kind of just like, I
didn't know that.
Yeah. I sort of just manifested a channel like just after like basically being in that position. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to do content on like, unturned updates and all that stuff. So like,
So what'd you tell him when you were like
well,
getting that community
wasn't
manager
it wasn't necessarily like bullshitting. It was more of like,
Yeah. Just
I
weaseled your way in there.
I like weaseled my way in, but it's like I qualified it, but just didn't completely qualify for like a communications position at all. Like
That's funny.
I was only like 13 or 14, and I was just like, I'm ready for this shit. So like,
You were 13?
yeah, I was like 13 when it came
How old
out,
are you
yeah.
now?
20, almost 21. So
So that's like 7 years
yeah,
of unturned.
basically, yeah.
Jeez. Did they blow up instantly or did they take a little bit? Because I know a lot of those channels blew up pretty quickly. It was a good game.
I do know because
creators.
I knew me like Big Bloom, me like Big Boom.
Mhm.
He was like
That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah, he was like one of the first unturned YouTubers. At least like solely just unturned content, not like any of the big
Yeah.
people like PewDiePie and all them coming in. It was mainly
Right.
like basically him. He joined the forum, and I remember like I became friends with him like after a while, like when he was like around like 20,000 subs and stuff. We'd like talk every day on Skype and all that. And then after that, I was like, you know what? I kind of want to make a channel. So I made a channel in like not the best way that I wanted to. I kind of like, because I was basing my content off of Unturned, I named my channel Unturned, but like in my videos I told people I wasn't official, but some people thought I was, and that's how like that's how I basically gained a following on it. And it was like after about a year or two, I was like, I can't do this anymore.
That's funny.
I gotta stop. So like,
Did you see it? So you changed it to Thorny?
yeah, I changed it to Thorny, and like before I was earning at least like 3,000 subs a month. And then
Yeah.
after I changed the name, it kind of stopped from there. So
Mm-hmm.
basically my YouTube position was bullshit.
So is that what stopped the growth? Is just the name change, like solely?
Then the name change, yeah. Basically, it stopped the growth in
Yeah.
subscribers, but it didn't stop the growth in views.
Right. So you're still pulling views.
So I was still pulling views
That's
after.
interesting.
Yeah, I was still pulling those views of like those subscribers that were already subscribed. They wanted to keep up with my content. So
Okay.
it was like after that, I just kept getting more and more views, and some videos would even blow up to like maybe like 100,000 views and stuff like that. Like even after I changed the name, but
Jeez.
solely a lot of my growth was due to the name Unturned, which is the reason I changed it, because like I felt shitty using that name and like gaining off of it, even though I wasn't official. And
So
like
we met right after that.
I think we did.
Like
I
kind
think
of in the middle end.
I think it was in the middle. I think like I
Right.
changed. No, I'm pretty sure I changed my name first. Then I met you. Yeah, it was at
Yeah, I'm
the
pretty
end.
sure it said Thorny.
It was at the end of 2015 is when I changed my name, if I'm correct. So
Oh wow.
yeah, And
Yeah,
then
that was probably right because in 2000, the end of 2015 is literally like right when I played Reign of Kings, so that makes sense.
yeah, and then like
So,
Siege just came out, I'm pretty sure too.
and we were playing together, and then Siege came out, and I think we were already friends at the time. We just started playing together, right? Or
Yeah,
did it
yeah,
take you a
yeah,
while?
yeah, yeah. No, no, no. I remember it because I played the beta of Siege, so like I
Yeah.
was already ready for the game. So as soon as it came out, I
You
had it and
played before
everything.
me then.
Yeah,
I never played the beta.
yeah, I played the beta like right when it came out. My brother got me into it because like he's really into like all the Tom Clancy games and shit like that. So
Oh yeah.
I was like, all right. I mean, he says the game's good. I guess I'll play it. And like at
And
that
then it
time,
was just downhill from there.
basically, but at the time, I was actually a nutty ass player. Like in the beginning stages of Siege.
Dude, the game was so much fun. I remember you were great.
Yeah, I was great. I was great, but like now I'm complete shit.
I mean, same. I don't play anymore. You don't play anymore, do you?
No, I don't. I barely play. Like I haven't actually like I haven't played game like the last time like so basically it's been like a year since I've actually like played games.
Right.
So like
so
now
yeah. So you started with Unturned, then played a couple games in the middle, and then went to Siege. But you mained Siege for a little bit. I mean, you played a lot of it.
Yeah, I did. I played a lot of Siege, and like I was making all these like nutty plays and shit, but I would never record it because like
what happened though? Like why'd you stop playing?
Why did I stop playing Siege?
Yeah.
It was honestly like after a while the updates just like honestly became like shit. Like Operation Health, that's what pissed me off the most. It was like
why did that piss you off?
It was like we didn't get content for that operation because they were like, oh, we're gonna fix the game and shit. But the game just became more and more broken, and it's still fucking broken to this day. Like,
see, I was mad at first, but I thought I had assumed that I was like, okay, like Ubisoft's doing their shit, but like maybe this will actually fix a lot of things.
Yeah, same.
And it did fix things, but it's like they used a hammer to fix some shit, and then they just threw it in another window and broke more shit. You know what I mean? Like
basically, yeah.
It just slowly started.
Honestly,
getting worse and worse.
it was as soon as they removed the raptor legs, that's when the game went to shit. So I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Those were actually the best. I remember seeing those every time. It was so funny. And then it was to the. I don't know if it's worse that it took them so like I thought it was intentional that they had not removed them because they left them in the game for so long. But then they eventually.
I know it honestly.
Eventually took it out.
Yeah, it honestly felt like a trademark of the game at that point.
Well, it was just confusing because, like, was it difficult to remove those, or were they just like actually like they probably had bigger things to do,
I don't think it was a priority at the time, but
probably
it definitely like it allowed you to cool down after you got killed, kind of, because like after you'd see somebody running around like with raptor legs after they killed you, you'd just like laugh it off. But like,
so where if you could go back, and so far I've been asking everyone this, if you could go back in any time in Siege, year and season specific, where would you go?
Year and season specific?
Yes, year and season specific.
Oof. That's honestly a hard. I would honestly.
Like you can name the DLC or whatnot, or
I'm not gonna lie. I would love to go back to season 1. I would love to start season all 1? Over again. Yeah.
What was that what was this the Canadian DLC? What was that called? I don't know why that's forgetting. When Yacht came out.
Black Ice or something? I don't know. No, that's like a skin name or something like that.
Yeah, that's a skin name.
Yeah, I don't know.
Why I'm forgetting that.
Been
Anyways,
a minute.
is that so you'd want to go there?
Yeah, basically. Yeah. I feel like I didn't like Yacht. That Yacht map was like really crap.
Like Yacht either.
But like I just liked the gameplay. I liked the mechanics of the game during that time.
Well, because I think everyone was figuring out how to play this game. This game was so new. Like Serenity was uploading videos. Like everyone was wondering, like, holy shit, you can actually make.
Yeah, there was so much stuff that like left you wondering. Like it was like up to your imagination to be like, oh, what's next? But like
it's a playground. It was a sandbox.
Yeah. Now that the game has like it's been out for like years now, and then like it's had so many updates, it's like these. Do you think that has
something to do with it? Is that it's just been out for such a long time?
Not necessarily. Basically. Basically. I would say it's just because like there's nothing left to your imagination anymore. There's no wondering, like what else this game has to offer. Usually it's always the same thing. It's always new operators, but like they don't like put out anything actually like like groundbreaking, you know, like in the gaming scene for Rainbow Six. Like it's all honestly the same. It's like they hit a plateau, you know, like there's no going up. I feel like it's only going down, in a sense.
See, I feel like a lot of people are, and I think people defend this by saying that they've changed things to promote a more competitive play, I guess. Is that what you'd say? And I mean, essentially every single season it does get new players.
Yeah.
And I think
definitely.
that's slowly seeing a decline right now. Actually, I noticed that today on Twitter. People are posting about it. Is that there was actually a massive decline in the Steam charts. And of course that doesn't count PS4 and Xbox and all that.
Honestly, like,
but still PC alone.
I think it's because, so like originally like people were starting to play Rainbow Six because they were getting tired of like other games like CS:GO and all that stuff, because like CS:GO's been out since like 2012, and like, you know, just the whole Counter-Strike, you know, like that whole entire FPS. That whole entire like franchise of games, that's like those have been out for a while now, and somebody wanted to find something new. So like Rainbow Six came out, you know, that satiated their hunger for like a new type of, you know, a new type of gameplay. But like after so many years of that being out, I feel like those drops, like specifically if you're like talking about like this month or like even like late last month, I would say that would have to probably be due to like new games coming out, and like, you know, like Modern Warfare, first of all, is like the new DLC, the new seasons and stuff coming out for those, like for like the Warzone. And then I'd also have to say that's due to Valorant coming out too, is because that's like a new FPS for people to get into. It's something new, you know.
A lot of the competitive players are really liking that, and that it's so stable. And yeah, they have had problems too, but a lot of people seem to be looking at that game, dude.
Yeah, I feel like it's honestly like a well polished game for like just being like released. Like it's really well polished. Like there's no like actual like big bugs that like have popped up at all. The only problem I've had is like when I'm trying to aim and shoot at the same time, my gun will glitch out and it won't aim, and it'll just lock up my like movement. But that only happens like every now and then, but like it's not something that consistently happens, you know?
Right.
So I feel
finding a bug is super rare.
Yeah, it's very rare in that game. It's a new type of gameplay. It's like it's a mixture of like all these type of genres into one, which is like insane. So I feel like that has a big part to do with like the decrease in like new players going to Rainbow Six. Because
I also think it's because of COVID. I think that now that it's starting to calm down, I think people are starting to get jobs again. So I think that might be
most definitely that, because after COVID, everybody was sticking inside, you know, playing games and all that. But at the same time, I do also think it's because of new title releases and stuff, and I just feel like there's nothing new with Rainbow Six that's like gonna offer anything where like people will enjoy in a sense. I feel like.
So what do you think they could do to if they could do one single thing or multiple things to just please you and fix the game? What would you like to see? If you just had full control right now.
I'm going to be honest. I don't think they'd be able to change anything to entertain me anymore.
Just nothing?
Just nothing. Like at this point, like I don't even want to like load up the game. Like it's... I don't even want to see those startup screens. Like I don't care for it anymore. Like after... Like I recently played it like literally like 2-3 weeks ago. I started it up on the menu, and as soon as it loaded, I just quit the game and uninstalled. Like I wasn't ready.
It feels different. Like even just the menu.
Yeah, it's
I don't know
even
if you
just
know
the
that
menu.
what I'm saying.
Yeah,
and
like
maybe some people might understand too, but it
also
doesn't
with the
feel
UI
the same.
change. Yeah, it's definitely the UI change. And
people that have played this game for such a long time, and myself included, will look back at my old videos and say, "Wow, that was a really, really fun moment. I really want more of that." And I will launch my game, get up, and realize that I am just trying to chase something that doesn't exist anymore. And I'm not going to have those same experiences because it's the same game, but it doesn't play the same anymore.
Exactly.
And whether that's good or bad is up to players' decisions. But yeah, those moments that you thought you had fun, you're probably not going to get that back again.
Yeah, exactly. And like most of the stuff out there, most of the content out there, like a lot of these people, I'm not going to call out any names, but like a lot of these people that like post like funny moments and stuff, like a lot of those are like planned. Like they're so forced, and like you could tell that they're forced because like
really?
I know,
you think they're like staged?
I definitely think they're staged because like there's no way, like I mean with the right people maybe they're not.
I think they're all they I think the people who do those videos just play with people who also want that.
That's what I'm saying.
It's staged.
I would
say that they have a goal essentially.
They definitely have a goal. It's definitely something they're working towards, is like finding something funny, and like no doubt there's probably staged parts in those videos. Like there's no doubt there isn't, you know. But like
I think those videos are actually more entertaining than gameplay videos. I don't know. I think that the subtitle videos right now are pretty entertaining. Like, I don't watch Siege videos, but I found myself on a person's channel, and I was literally just like kind of checking them out to see, like, I've been reaching out to people to get on here, and it was just kind of entertaining having, I don't know what it is about subtitles, dude, but have you ever tried to put those in your videos?
Yeah, I actually have. I feel like it just adds something new for you to look at.
It adds something new. And I realize that whenever I watch a movie, I've started always putting subtitles on. And I don't know why.
Yeah, sometimes it's like I'm not even
really
like
weird.
I'm not even paying attention to the movie. I'm just reading subtitles. Like, that's it. Like, I'm just reading. Yeah. I honestly on my Netflix at the same time you're watching it. Yeah, on my Netflix right now I have subtitles on, and it's like I'm just like matching their lips with the words sometimes, and like I just keep going and going. You know, it's really entertaining, honestly. But
it is. It's entertaining. But I see what you're saying.
Yeah, in terms of like my opinion on like the whole like funny moments and all that, and those subtitle videos, like like I said, like, you know, they're probably staged, but I do enjoy those videos. Like, I don't hate them. I don't hate them. Like, I do enjoy them. I do find them entertaining. It's just like in like the realistic aspect of things, if like people are out there like looking to create that content, a lot of that content's probably not going to come naturally. Like a lot, like, especially if you're looking to make those videos, you have the intention to try and make funny moments, which is most likely going to end up in like forced content, you know? So it's
a good way to think about it. I never really thought about it like that.
Yeah. So it's kind of like you have to just go with the flow of things, you know, just like play your game, play with like people, you know, you enjoy playing with. Don't force those moments. If they happen, they happen. Just keep that record button on, you know, just keep it recording, and then like you'll capture a moment. But
I think there's some people who play on both sides of that spectrum. You know, I think there's people who have a good balance between that, and I think there are people who don't. But they're targeting a niche, and whether or not it's working for them, they're trying to attack that niche and find, because it's super hard to be unique right now in Siege, and that was one of the awesome things I think about
not even that, like, content homeless. Overall.
Yeah, basically homeless, dude. I remember his first couple of videos, and I was like, dude, this guy is about to blow up. Like,
oh yeah,
right
he makes like such unique content. Like, it's content that like you wouldn't even think to make, and he's over here doing it. Like, it's just out of the box.
So entertaining, dude.
Yeah, it is.
Let alone one of the nicest dudes, and everything that he does is just one giant meme. But the most genius part about it is that he was one of the first people to dominate breaking out of Siege in a creative and unique way, because his content was like started off with something else, maybe, I'm not too sure, but a big part of it was Siege in the beginning.
Can I stop you right there real quick?
Yes.
So like you said, like, he dominated basically like breaking out of Siege, because like once you, like, for me, right, I started on Unturned. Yeah. My content has been stuck in Unturned even after like 2 years of not posting. Same. Once you start on one game and that's your sole main content on your channel, and you gain a following on it, don't think you can just, you know, get out of it. Like, it's not easy. A lot of people
are noticing that right now.
Yeah, dude. It is not easy. So if you want to have these extra like pathways to get out when you're making this content, always add something else like after that upload. You know, like do different uploads every other day, you know? Like, keep that same content, a variety. But like, you know, just spread it out. Do different games, you know? Just upload other stuff. And don't keep doing the same thing. Yes, exactly.
He integrated his personality amazing and doing dumb shit that could also, like, if I watched him play on a treadmill in Siege, I would love to watch him play with a treadmill on GTA. It doesn't matter. I'm just watching some dude play on a treadmill.
Because now,
like, it is so entertaining, and he's mastered that.
Now his content isn't stuck necessarily on a single game. It's stuck on like the way he's playing games, rather.
Yeah. exactly.
So now
Yeah,
he's playing games with like controllers, guitars, anything. Yeah, like
that's such a bigger genre though, because I think it's more than just playing a game with X, Y, and Z. It's just doing something that no one else would ever think of, and that is a big genre.
And people want to know. People want to know the outcome of what happens when he uses those things. Like it's not just
seeing a thumbnail with like 10 monitors and 10 computers and him being a whole team. Like I don't care what game you're playing on. Like it's hilarious. But I think that a lot of people are noticing now on Siege is that breaking out of that genre is super difficult. Even if you're super successful in Siege, it's breaking out of that genre is super difficult. And like a lot of people are struggling with that.
Especially if you're like a serious YouTuber and like you post serious like content on a game, it's going to be harder for you to get out than somebody who could do like comedy type, videos.
Exactly.
Like if you're
that was me, dude. I was stuck. I was literally like I would post like a PUBG video or anything like that and it would just tank instantly.
Exactly.
But if I posted a Siege video, it'd do great.
Exactly. Like if your videos were like more centered around like comedy and like funny moments, like those people that do those subtitle videos and all that stuff, it's easier for you to break out of that scene because people like that comedy. They want to see it at whatever you're playing. It's not like you're releasing frags, like frag videos. Like when you release those, it's like people are only watching for that certain game, where you're getting those frags in. Just because they want to see frags in Rainbow Six doesn't mean they want to see frags in Call of Duty or something like that. Like it's they're completely different games and they require completely different skill.
Oh, easily. Yeah, it's super weird. I don't really know other than like it's so hard to pull yourself out of that rut if you haven't already created the genre or created the ability to travel between genres.
Yeah, I also have like I guess some like motivating advice in a sense, or just some like an outlook on this. Like if you're trying to break out of the current content that you're playing, so I mean the one and only way to do it is first of all to find a new niche, right? Find something that is gonna blow up, something new that's gonna become popular. Like if you're gonna start videos on something that everybody else is currently doing, where it's oversaturated with a bunch of like all like new content, and all these big YouTubers and stuff doing it, your content's most likely not gonna blow up. But if you search for that new content, something new, like how Basically Homeless is doing, like how he's doing stuff, your content will blow up. But another way for you to break out of like that certain game that you're playing is to just upload what you enjoy playing. Because over time, if you stop uploading one content and start uploading new ones more and more frequently of like all these different games that you're playing and like you're actually enjoying, you might actually find a fan base within those. Even if you see your views tank, keep pushing through it. Because if you don't push through it, you're not going to get anywhere. If you don't try, you're not going to get anywhere. So
it's super demotivating to do something. So here's the flip side of that. What happens when you have fun in a game and you upload something and it just goes nowhere?
I would say just keep going. Just keep going because you like. I mean,
I guess there's really no choice.
Like many people have said, like this might be like cheesy and like shit, but like you miss all the shots you literally don't take. Like, if you're not gonna take that chance of not getting views, you're probably never gonna get views. You're probably gonna get nowhere because you're not trying. Try with different content. If your content tanks, it tanks. What are you gonna do? Like just keep uploading. Like don't be a fucking baby about it. Like just keep going. Like if you force yourself to be a YouTuber, if you force yourself to be popular on YouTube, you're gonna be a shitty YouTuber. That's all I have to say. Because I have seen so many people out there that force their way into it, and I've even done it myself, and it was the worst thing I could have done.
What do you mean by that? By like, forcing their way into it?
Basically, you're releasing content not because you like the content, just because you want to make money off of the content, just because you want to become an influencer, just because you want to do all this shit.
Money grab.
Yeah, it's just a money grab for you. So like, you don't give a shit about your community if you do create one, and like, it's just. You just don't want to go that route. Trust me, I've been down there, and that's like why I quit YouTube, because like I got into that mindset one time, and it honestly threw me into like a depression, because I would just stare at stats constantly, all these statistics and everything. I'd be like comparing myself to other YouTubers, and I'm like, oh, my views aren't like lining up and shit. And it honestly like it brought me to the brink sometimes. Like it was it was just too much. So like if you're gonna get into
Mm-hmm.
YouTube, just do it for fun. Don't do it for money, because if you do, you're just gonna end up fucking yourself over in the end.
Damn. Yeah, that's heavy. I feel like a lot of people are dealing with that, and not just the gaming space, just everything. Everything you look at becomes numbers, and that is all you care about. And if you do bad, you'll be in a shitty mood for the rest of your day.
Exactly. Just have fun with it. Don't care about your views. Don't even look at your stats after you upload anything. Don't even look at your live views. Don't look at anything. Just upload your video. If you get comments, reply to your comments, look at it, you like engage with your community. Don't give a shit about the stats, because the stats will fuck you.
Yeah. I mean, it's true for a lot of things, and I think that's true for making money in real life in general. It's
most definitely, yeah.
Dude, I had such a parallel connection to that when I was doing my YouTube stuff, is that those stats, you look at them, you're going to look at them the same way you're going to look at money, and it's never going to be enough. And that was like a big eye-opening point for me when I was doing that, is that these numbers were never enough. But take me back 3 years, is that I would have died to have half of that. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And it's going to be the same thing when I get a paycheck, because I don't know, I did X, Y, and Z, and I'm trying to stay out of that mindset and trying to stay and pursue the things that I love rather than just chasing the bag, or so you call it.
Exactly. Like here, like for an example, like don't quote me exactly on this. This happened like a couple of years ago, so like I don't have any I don't know where to find the evidence on this, but I do remember that PewDiePie, right? The biggest solo creator on the platform, like about like probably like 2-3 years ago, he was uploading content, and his content was only averaging 1 to 2 million views, right? And he was probably around like 50 million subs or so, 1 to 2 million views. And I remember him posting, I think it was on Twitter or it was on YouTube, it was somewhere, but he was just like, I have no motivation for this anymore because I'm not getting enough viewers. He was looking at YouTube as a statistic. He was looking at all of his views, and he wasn't doing it for fun anymore. He was doing it for more money, for more views at the time. And I'm not judging him. Like every YouTuber's probably fallen into that, and most definitely probably has fallen into that.
Easily. Yeah.
Yeah, so easily. So like I don't blame him for any of that, but just a reminder, 1 to 2 million views. Million, right? And he had no motivation. So it honestly doesn't matter how fucking big your channel gets. If you fall into statistics, you're just gonna like fall in life. Like you're just gonna get depressed over anything. If anything doesn't go your way, if you don't have more of this, more of that, it's honestly, you're gonna feel shitty for yourself, and that's gonna be your own fault if you fall into the statistics game. It's so stupid.
So how do you think you stay out of that? Like let's say Johnny creates a YouTube video or YouTube channel, and he is making gaming content and it's doing great. Should he just, because it's extremely hard to find that line where you're trying to have fun and be successful at the same time.
That's also the thing, right? If you're trying to be fun and you want to be successful at the same time, I feel like this is probably going to contradict what I already said, but you're going to have to sacrifice one thing or the other. It's either you have fun or, you gain followers and you gain that influence, like you become successful. So like most people, they can have fun and they get successful. Like it works like for them, like completely like 50-50 or even like, more fun. And then like they're just getting famous at the same time they're having fun. But for some people, it's like a 50-50, or sometimes it's not even that. It's like 100-0, So
yeah,
for people like that, like if you want to have fun or you want to be successful, like you have to sacrifice. It's either you have that fun or you be successful and you force yourself to make that content. That's your choice, but that depends on how you want to feel afterwards. If you're having fun with your content and you get 0 views, like you had fun in those games, you're not getting those views, but I don't know. Like it's weird. It's different for everybody. And it's like some people are just like, some people, I'm just going to say like straight up, like they have no emotion. Like they don't give a shit. And like they'll just force videos out and they won't feel any ill effects to that. I'm not like that. If I force myself to do something, I don't want to do it. Like at one point, YouTube was a full-time job for me, and I was making hella money from it, right? And I only had like 25,000 subs, and I do right now. I had 30,000, but I like lost 5K like over the past 2 years. But like at that amount of subs, right? I'm going into statistics right now. At that amount of subs, I was gaining around like, I'm not gonna say exactly, but like I was gaining, a pretty decent like full-time pay, right? And I could live off of that. But after I was earning all that, I had to put in so many hours just to get that exact amount of money. And at that point, it honestly, like, it consumed me to where I didn't want to even do it anymore. Like, just forcing yourself to do a hobby is just, it's going to feel like a job, and you're not going to want to like continue with that work. It's not going to be fun for you. So like, if you're trying to have fun and trying to be successful, you have to pick one or the other. Like literally, you have to. There's no way. Like, you could be having fun.
If you're trying to find the line, you're going to end up going probably in the statistics side.
Yeah.
And that might not be true for everyone. But if you're trying to find that line, that means you kind of care about stats, which is fair.
Exactly. Like,
but you're probably going to end up going that way.
And it's not necessarily bad if you do. It's really if you catch yourself falling for it. Because if you catch yourself falling for statistics, you could easily become successful, and you could stop yourself from actually thinking about that success and just keep doing the content that you're doing. So if you're like, if you're self-aware and you catch yourself looking at stats and comparing yourself to others, like, just take a step back, just stop. And like, just stop yourself from looking at it. Because there's definitely people out there who are having fun on YouTube and successful. They're making money. It's their full-time job. They love doing it. It's their hobby and everything. But it's not like that for everybody. Like, the realistic point of view is that like, it could easily like throw you into depression. It could easily, just being on the internet overall and doing an internet job as like your full-time hobby and job, it could really fuck with you, like, mentally.
I think it's just going down. It's a sacrifice you have to be willing to take, pursuing something you love and wanting to make money at it.
Exactly. And like most people,
it's kind of a byproduct, and some people make it out and some people don't. And yeah,
exactly. Like, you could put all your work into it and you could honestly get nowhere, but like, you could put no work into it and get somewhere, like, it's really a 50-50 in that sense. But it's also like, I don't really know how to explain this, but it's like, like I've said, like, this entire time, it's really dependent on the person, and it's dependent on the circumstance of like what happens, like when you upload a video and all this. Like, most of it has to do with algorithm, and like, some people say that's not true, but it is the truth. It's all algorithm. And like, some people could have really quality content and they could get nowhere. So like, just because you put work into a video, just because you put work into your channel, doesn't mean it's going to get anywhere. Like, the person that just uploaded the fucking raw footage could get 1 million views over your 1,000. Like, it's,
I don't know about that. I feel like if you put enough work into it, I think there will be a result.
There definitely will be a result, but like,
as long as there's a market for it, at least.
Yeah. They're definitely like, I'm not saying you're not like I mean, I probably did say you're not going to go anywhere, but like, in the sense that like, compared to like that person that just became an overnight like success,
right.
Like, for some people it takes the long road. Like, it's going to take you years to get there. For some people it's going to be overnight. Yeah. Like, that's true. It's dependent on circumstance and like who you are, your personality. Right. It's dependent on all of that, and it's all timing, and it's an unfair space, most definitely an unfair space, and it's a competition between everybody. So,
well, it's so oversaturated now. I think exactly. I wouldn't say it's unfair, but I would say it's oversaturated, and it's definitely more challenging than it was back a long time ago. But I honestly, in my humble opinion, I think that just weeds out the people who maybe don't want to try as much, and you get those people who are like crazy or just literally just love what they do, and those will be the ones keep going. And you know what, that might be cutting out the people who are just doing it for money, so it could also be a good thing, that it's competitive, because they're not getting money in the first week or the first month. So
and just like, especially with like all the new YouTube stuff, like, if you just create a channel today, I think, what is it, like, you have to get like 1,000 subs and then like over 1,000 watch hours or something, or is it 4,000 watch hours? I think it is.
I just looked at it the other day. I forget exactly what it was.
I just looked at it literally like a couple hours ago. But like, because I was just like, I was trying to start a new channel, like,
Yeah. So what's going on with that? What are you doing now?
Basically, I want to do like I want to do Valorant, but because my other channel was basically stuck in Unturned and it has like an Unturned fan base, mainly like a survival game fan base in that sense. Like I've posted other content and that other content has blown up before, but I just never continued with, going with that path that I like wanted to choose at the time. I just decided not to do it. And honestly, with that channel, I'm just probably going to stop uploading content overall and like just start new, just start fresh and see where I can go with that. Cause like right now I feel like if I have two channels doing two different things, I could definitely have fun with it. A lot more fun than I'm going to have with one channel that can only do one thing. So if I just like separate my fan bases, then I'm probably going to get somewhere with it, but I'm not counting on it. I'm having fun at this point. I'm playing Valorant, which is the content I'm going to start on. It's going to be like Valorant. I'm probably going to throw some Call of Duty. It's mainly going to be my FPS channel, in a sense.
You seem like you're personally doing better than you were a couple of years ago. I remember all of a sudden seeing you like going out all the time and like hanging out with friends and on Snapchat and stuff. But it seems like you are happier at least right now.
Yeah, most definitely. Like during that time, I would say like you probably saw that about like a year or two ago, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like around that time is like when I like took my big break from like YouTube. It was after like because I was getting paid for like when Fortnite came out, I was getting paid to play that. And like during that time, that's like when it really hit me that like I'm forcing myself to do this content for the money I'm making, and I'm not happy with it.
You were doing Mixer for a while, weren't you?
Mixer.
Or you're streaming on live.me.
It was Live Me, and because I was on it was on the gaming section that they were creating, and then they changed it over to Fluxer, and like.
Oh.
Yeah, so I basically had a partnership with them as well as like many other YouTubers at the time and like streamers and stuff, and we were getting paid to play games on there, and it was fun at first, but then after a while cuz you had to keep
it? The game
like what? Fortnite? When I was playing it for fun. When I was
playing it for fun.
When I was playing it for fun. When I was paid to play it, that's when I had to put over 100 hours in. Like,
that's so weird, man.
Yeah, every month.
That's so weird how it works like that.
Yeah, I had to force in at least a minimum of like 100 hours. But like that's my fault because that's the stuff that I signed. That's the paperwork that I signed to get paid.
That's a fair thing to try out, though. I mean, you're getting paid to play video games. It was 10 years ago. That wasn't a thing. 20 years ago.
Yeah, it was definitely fair. And some people would be like, you got it lucky. You did that, blah, 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 all this.
Lucky. You worked.
Yeah, I did work for it, but, like, in the sense that, like, people were like you said, like, oh, we didn't have this during our time. Like, we couldn't just sit around and play games and get paid for it. Well, like, people think it's easy to do, like, YouTube. They think it's easy to do all this, but, like, when you're actually putting in the work.
A lot of people don't know.
Yeah, when you're actually putting in work for it, it becomes a job. It becomes hard. Like you're putting in overtime, and sometimes you're not even getting paid as much as you'd like. Like,
dude, it's probably worse than a job.
Yeah, it's probably worse. And like, if you were actually getting paid hourly for it, I'm pretty sure there'd be like a lot of legal action taken against YouTube.
You know how much money you'd get in overtime if you fucking were paid hourly on the work that you put in on YouTube?
Exactly.
But for some reason, it's so much more satisfying because it's just what you want to do until you fall in those ruts.
If I was getting paid hourly, like an actual hourly rate, probably even at minimum wage, we'd all be rich. Yeah, we'd be rich because I put in so many hours.
But yeah.
And like
we'd be in another country sitting on some beach.
Yeah, a lot of those hours too would be like me just sitting on the edit screen like on Premiere and just being like, what the fuck am I doing?
Or trying to figure out a title.
I know, or even a thumbnail, just trying to figure out that thumbnail. Like, how am I going to title this? How am I going to put this in a thumbnail? How am I going to make it pop? All this stuff. But like back to the whole thing with like, why I quit like, making content and like, like I said, it became a job. I was forcing myself into it for the paycheck at that time. And like, that's when it really hit me like mentally. And that really, like I've been saying this entire, like, this entire podcast, like it threw me into a depression. I got really depressed.
That's crazy.
I didn't want to do anything. I was sleeping all the time. During that time too, I was a senior in high school, and like I was failing my classes. I was doing shitty, and at that time, like, I literally, like, I'm not even kidding. Like, I didn't even want to live anymore. Like, it got to that point because like I got so consumed into the internet world and like YouTube and like statistics that like I wasn't happy with how like how my content and how everything was turning out. It just wasn't enough at that point. And at one point I just decided, I was like, I need to stop before like I get to a point where I can't turn back. Like it's gonna be bad for me, in the long run, or like, like.
Did you start going to the gym?
Yeah, I at the time
helps so much.
Yes, at the time, like before I quit YouTube and all that, about like a year ago, I weighed about like, I'd say like 260 pounds, I think it was. So like
how tall are you?
260 pounds. I think I'm 6'1". Last time I checked, about 6'6", 6'1", probably taller. I don't know. It was a while ago. That was freshman year when I measured myself. But so yeah, like during that time I was like, it doesn't seem like a lot of weight, but when that's not muscle and it's all fat, it's a lot of weight.
Yeah, no, totally.
Yeah, so like during that time, like I remember like one day it just clicked. Like I was just like, I'm not happy with myself. Like I fucking hate myself. I'm changing everything now. I tried all these different ways of losing weight, and like after a while I was just like, you know what, fuck it. I'm going on like a full on, like, I went on water fast. I went on like all these type of fasts, and then after a while I found this diet that actually like worked for my body, because diets work for, differently for everybody. So I found a diet that worked for me, which was intermittent fasting.
That's what I do.
It was intermittent fasting, but I wasn't eating healthy with it. I was eating junk food with it. So like I wouldn't eat the entire day. Then at the end of the day, just for dinner, I'd have like McDonald's or like some, big ass fast food, meal. But it worked for me, like it worked for me. It's, if you want to get like lean and all that stuff, you want to go the healthy route. But like, I was just like, I want to lose weight right now. I just want to lose weight and like have like enjoy the food I'm eating, and like, I wasn't really necessarily forcing it. I was just like, if I lose weight this way, it's nice, but like, I'm gonna just keep going with it. And it worked. I did it for a year and I lost over 100+ pounds. And
yeah, dude, you thinned out real fast. That was one of the first things I noticed. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, I started going to the gym. My friend invited me.
Yeah.
So like that basically happened like after I went to college. And now remember, right, in my senior year, all throughout high school, I was basically failing all my classes. I graduated late in high school and everything.
Yeah.
I basically stood at graduation with no diploma in my hand. Like they gave me this little foldable book where my diploma goes in, which I'm pretty sure like a lot of you are familiar with. And everybody else opened theirs. They had theirs. I opened mine. It was empty. Nothing was there. So I graduated late. It was honestly like probably like one of the saddest points. And it was definitely the turning point in like how I changed myself over like the next year. So after I went to college, I'm like on my second year of college now. And like I have, last semester I ended with a 4.0. Right now I have like a 3.4 GPA. But it's,
damn.
Yeah, I'd say the GPA dropped.
Crazy, dude.
Yeah. And that was honestly because I became healthier. Like I went for a healthier lifestyle, in a sense at least. Started working out.
Are you still going now?
I stopped going, but I've definitely no, I've stopped going for now, but like I definitely like do exercise at home while I'm at it, and like I do what I can, but like it's not like it's not my life right now. I'm not going to force myself to exercise right now because I'm happy with the way I am. I got a girlfriend now. So like,
if you're happy, I mean,
in the last year, like a lot of shit has happened. It's definitely, my mentality has changed ever since taking a break from YouTube. And I feel like now that I'm in a different mentality, I can come back and like learn from my mistakes and, start over.
Yeah. Start over with the knowledge.
Yeah. Start fresh.
A hard thing is that since people haven't really done this before, you can't really get too much advice from older people.
You can't. You have to,
because this is so new.
Yeah, you definitely have to learn from your own experiences, or try to learn from people who've like already gone through it at least. But that's hard to find because YouTube is such a young platform that, and I mean, like overall social media is like such a young platform. Like
everything is.
Yeah, everything is. So it's like a lot of people that are in like on these platforms, all these influencers, it hasn't been done before. Like this is the start. This is just the beginning. So like there's like a lot of stuff that has like caused depression, and it's like especially social media, but it's like you can't really like do anything about it unless you experience it for yourself, or like there's more research done on it. But
I'm a huge advocate for the gym, obviously. I think that's why I never really am. I would consider myself always happy. Like I'm never really sad, and I'm blessed to have never experienced like any kind of depression. And I'm pretty certain that a lot of that is because of just like emotional fitness and actual physical fitness.
Definitely being happy with your body is a big part of like being happy with like with like your life overall, like with everything that you're doing. Like for example, like let's bring this back to YouTube, right? Like if you're not happy with your YouTube and stuff, like, and you have a good healthy lifestyle outside of YouTube, you're gonna be happy. You're not gonna mind that drop in views. But if your whole life is into social media and becoming an influencer and making money, you're literally setting yourself up for disaster, and it's not gonna be the way that you want to go.
Totally. Yeah, I mean that's pretty much a problem I think a lot of people are facing now, since all this is it's becoming the cool thing to be, you know. I mean, I guess it has been for a while, but everyone's wanting to play games and make money on it now, and it's just such an oversaturated market. The people are a lot of the time we'll see all the, and the bad thing is that all of these people who are making a lot of money are super flashy about it. So all of these kids are growing up saying, I want this nice car, I want, you know, a big house, and this guy's doing it by playing games, so I must have to chase money when I play games. And I think that it's just going to wind up being obviously negative. I think that about does it. We talked about a wide range of topics.
Yeah, most
definitely. That was really fun. That was a good time.
That was definitely fun. It was definitely good to get all that out, and you know.
Yeah, I feel like this is going to be pretty helpful for at least someone. I mean, there's got to have someone who needs to hear this, you know. I mean, like, I think it's pretty useful information. So your channel now is solely focused on Valorant and other survival games, is that what you said?
Basically my second channel is like mainly FPS Valorant, and like
FPS Valorant. Gotcha.
Yeah, basically just Valorant for now. Like I want to start on Valorant. Like I said, like I might get stuck in there, but like if that happens, I'll figure out a way, you know? I'll figure out something to get out.
Where can people find you?
People can find me in the link in your description, but you can type in Clockwork on YouTube, and it's clock spelled regularly, and then work with 3 R's instead of an O.
Gotcha.
But yeah, so youtube.com/clockwork, and that'll take you to my new channel, and then youtube.com/Thorny with 2 Y's. That'll take you to my main channel. So yeah.
Good deal, man. Well, thanks for being on. Thanks for being a friend, and thanks for sharing all this, dude. Yeah, this was good talk.
I appreciate it. This was definitely a good talk.